All right, what is going on, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate y'all for tuning in for this Xbox partner preview showcase review here today. I know this is a little bit late. I'm hoping I can still get this up today. The day that the partner preview took place, I ended up having to work a little bit late. So I don't know. Better late than never. And there's some good stuff here worth talking about. Stuff I actually do want to discuss with you all. So I said, fuck it. We'll get a late review of the show up today. And yeah, so I took some notes. I was eating lunch in a parking lot of a Whataburger today, and I was watching the Xbox partner preview show. So there might be some mistakes in my note taking here. There might be some things you can correct me about in the comments below if I missed a few details. So let's go ahead and kick it off though, because we got a big new announcement here from a team that just put out one of the greatest survival horror games of all time, the Silent Hill 2 remake. Bloober said, hey, we don't just want the Silent Hill audience. We want the Dead Space audience too. And okay, Bloober. I guess we're going to have to start putting some respect on their name. And with no Dead Space or no Callisto Protocol 2 seemingly taking place, and obviously no Dead Space 2, that was confirmed, what was that, earlier this year, late last year? But yeah, so Chronos The New Dawn, I believe, is the name of this new Bloober space-based third-person survival horror title. And thankfully, it does seem that they are totally stepping away from their old school Layers of Fear walking sim-esque days, the observers and the mediums and games of that ilk, because you do see in this trailer, you're roaming around in your third-person perspective, and you're carrying you a weapon. And okay, Bloober. I for one, I gotta apologize to Bloober. I totally underestimated their ability with the Silent Hill 2 remake, a game that I really enjoyed the original, but they took it to a whole new level with the remake. So all right, let's see if those lessons learned for Silent Hill 2, the remake, can be applied with their own new IP, Chronos The New Dawn, launching early 2025. And we got old Yakuza Pirate in Hawaii. We got a new trailer for that. You're able to drive your damn your boat, your ship. I didn't know that. You can actually control your boat and like customize your boat, your ship in battle, or customize your ship in battle. I don't think that's exactly how it works. You can customize your ship and also take it into battle. And I did not know that. I just thought you were going to be in Hawaii dressed up like a pirate hitting people. I didn't know you were actually engaging in ship-based combat. Looks so damn sick. And I don't know, you saw like sharks flying around in battle. And also, weird little detail, they changed the release date from February 28th to February 21st, seemingly, or I would assume, to get away from Monster Hunter that is also launching on February 28th. So, yeah, I don't know. I love that this series is just like, fuck it, let's have fun. You know, no reason to take ourselves overly serious at this point. We put out a new game every year. Let's just throw shit at the wall, see what people like. And my whole philosophy with this was I wanted to play through all of the games in order before jumping into the newer games. But I think at this point, I'm just going to pick and choose. I enjoyed 0 and 1. I love the Judgment games. And I think I don't want to play through, 2 through 6 before jumping into this. Like, I really want to play this with the new setting, getting to be a pirate and shit. Like, sign me up, dude. I think I'm there day one because I just want to support the originality that's on offer as well. This is the style of game just doing such weird off-the-wall shit that I just want to support. And see, I think I'm going to kind of just do a pick and choose method with Yakuza. I know that's probably not recommended, but fuck it. This game just looks so sick. It looks so much cooler than, no disrespect to the other games, but to me, it looks so much cooler than any other Yakuza I've seen before. And next up, let's talk about Mouse PI for Hire. So this is coming 2025, and it continues to look exceptional. We've seen this game quite a bit already, but you're playing as a detective, or I guess a PI, a private investigator. This little mouse that's a private investigator. You're in the 1930s. You got some, it's very, you feel that classic Disney vibe all over this game. It's a first person shooter. It's black and white. You got your high powered weaponry, or I guess high powered weaponry is a bit of a, I don't know if you can necessarily apply that term to the 1930s, but you got the highest powered weaponry that you could expect for the 1930s. You got like your Tommy guns, and it looks balls to the wall action, and set in the 1930s, playing as a detective mouse. And then sure, I think this is the first time we saw the 2025 window. I don't know if this had a confirmed window or a confirmed release year before this point. So shout out Mouse PI for hire. I will be checking you out. Subnautica 2 got announced today, or at least as far as I'm aware, this was the first official announcement for Subnautica 2. Coming day one to Game Pass. A really, really good Game Pass get here. It is entering into early access next year, though, which I'll wait for the 1.0 release. I don't really, I know this is probably old man yelling at clouds, but as soon as something is announced for early access, it just kind of kills my hype for the game. Or I shouldn't even say kills my hype. I'm immediately like, okay, I'll wait. I don't really have interest in being a beta tester, and I know it's more than that with a lot of games, and I appreciate something like a Baldur's Gate 3 that takes fan feedback and then implements it into the final product. I do think shit like that is cool, but I'll wait for the 1.0 game. But it does look good, and once again, good day one Game Pass get for Subnautica 2. And we also had Animal Well that was, this was announced to be available today, launching today on Xbox. So a nice little shadow drop there for you all. Anybody who was interested in Animal Well, but, only had an Xbox and couldn't check it out, now you can jump into Animal Well, a game that a lot of people are considering a game of the year contender. So shout out to it. Eden's Zero, I believe, is the name of this one. I think it's based on an anime, if I'm not mistaken. And you got these little motherfuckers running around here strapped up. Like, they are just strapped up, shooting the shit out of shit. I mean, just shooting the shit out of shit in this game. And this jumped out to me so much because anime game, I immediately go, okay, guy with a sword and probably some very original looking hair. Original hair, fantasy, sword, anime. That's sort of that's where okay, I get it. That's probably an anime style game. Never, or not often, do I see people shooting the shit out of shit and think anime. Yeah, you got some real-time combat going on here, and the combat looked pretty good. Like, this game just, it did not look bad at all. And once again, I have no knowledge of the source material whatsoever, but I believe at the beginning of the trailer it said something like it was based on an anime, if I'm not mistaken. I could very well be mistaken, because like I said, I was watching this show while eating Whataburger in a Whataburger parking lot, and maybe not the best setting for trying to digest information, but here we are. Eternal Strands is coming day one to Game Pass, and this is a huge get for Xbox. I think Eternal Strands is going to be one of the best games of 2025, without a shadow of a doubt. It's coming from some ex-BioWare and Ubisoft vets who got off the ship at the right time, seemingly. I don't know. We shouldn't say that with BioWare. Dragon Age. We'll see how Veilguard turns out. I hope it's really good. But yeah, some ex-BioWare and Ubisoft vets got together to create this studio. Yellow Brick Games, I believe, is the name of the studio. And what they created here is essentially Dragon's Dogma of the Colossus. You're taking on these huge ass monsters in a very dynamic manner. Climbing these huge gargantuan creatures, and just the scale, the dynamic environmental interaction, the dynamic weather effects, using your environment as a weapon. And that's really what this trailer wanted to highlight. It was just balls to the wall gameplay. Showed you kind of exactly what this game is going to offer up in a quick minute slice. And yeah, early 2025, coming day one to Game Pass. And whoever made this decision, I shout out. Whoever over there at Xbox saw this one out, because yeah, this is it. This game is going to be it. I'll throw that prediction out there right now. I'm not saying Game of the Year contender or anything like that. 2025 has way too many of those already, but this game's going to be, it's going to be something serious. And next up here we have Mistfall Hunter. And the description reads, Mistfall Hunter is a third-person action PvPvE extraction RPG set in a dark, mysterious, Nordic-inspired continent filled with creatures, loot, and those seeking glory. Yay. Next up, we have Ghost Bike. And so, actually, let me correct myself here. They changed the name from Ghost Bike to Wheel World now. So you might remember Ghost Bike that was announced at an Xbox showcase a while ago. And it's this racing game where you're going and you're able to customize your bike. And then at the end of this trailer, and specifically, it seems like they're teasing something pretty sinister taking place. I believe that there's some afterlife effect going on in this game. I believe they showed that off in the first trailer as well, where you're interacting with the afterlife in some manner. And just any sort of weird spin on sports games, sign me up for it. I've been playing Parcel Corps, which is like you're on a bicycle, and you're an Amazon delivery person on a bicycle, but you're Tony Hawk grinding all across the world. And it's just a fun arcadey sports experience. And I need more of that shit in my life. Give me those PS2 nostalgic feels. And this feels like it might be somewhere in that vein. It doesn't look quite as arcadey, but yeah, it looks pretty fun. Early 2025, day one Game Pass for Wheel World. And then Phasmophobia is coming to Xbox on October 29th. And Phasmophobia was a huge hit. Was that a couple years ago, last year? But yeah, officially coming to Xbox. Perfect timing for the spooky season, October 29th. And next up we have The Legend of Baboo. I believe I'm saying that right. This is a third-person action-adventure game. You got some climbing and some good exploration in there, giving you some Uncharted or Tomb Raider vibes. But instead of, for the action being more shooting-oriented, it's like a third-person melee combat game. And then you also see this dog that, no disrespect to you, dog, but and once again, let me highlight the setting for my consuming this information was probably not the best. I might have been hallucinating, but the game looked very much cartoony, fun, vibrant, just somewhat silly. And then the dog looked damn near photorealistic. And then I'll probably be editing this footage right now, and I'll look at the dog and be like, oh shit, that dog doesn't look photorealistic at all. What the fuck was I thinking? But when I was watching, I was like, why does that dog look so photorealistic and everything else looks cartoony? But hey, I don't know. The game actually still looks fun regardless of the dog's photorealism. But yeah, coming early 2025, The Legend of Baboo. And then we have Wuchang Fallen Feathers. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the 497th Souls-like game that's been announced in the past 2 months. It looks good. It looks good. It actually being, taking my condescending shithead attitude out of the equation, it does look good. 505 is publishing it. So it does seem like there's some real money backing this thing. Plus, it's coming day one to Game Pass, which I'm assuming that added some extra bankroll to that budget. But yeah, for me personally, this is all going to come down to if it has a stamina meter. or not. If there's no stamina meter, I'll probably check it out with it being a day one Game Pass game. Because the trailer showed a lot more than just rolling around on the ground and parrying. Like this trailer had a lot of cool shots of a wide variety of different combat. Like you're raining down projectile attacks. You got like a Gatling gun sort of thing that you're firing off at the enemy, and yeah, the combat seemed super fast when you were engaged in the more melee, one-on-one battles. The enemy variety looked solid. So if this is more of just a straight up action game and less of a Souls game, yeah, fuck yeah, definitely down. So that is Wuchang Fallen Feathers coming to Game Pass next year. And then next up we have Blindfire. This looked almost like laser tag, and it's like a first person shooter, and it's a online first person shooter, and it's coming to early access. It's out now actually on early access on Xbox and you can buy it for $9. But this is it gave me laser tag vibes. I don't really know how to explain that, but when I was watching, I was like, this feels laser tag-esque. So sure. Blindfire, laser tag first person shooter. And then we have the Federal Bureau of Control's Firebreak, FBC Firebreak. And this is a 3-player co-op first person shooter coming from Remedy. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about Remedy in general. They have a lot going on. Obviously, they have the Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes in the cooker. They have Control 2 in the cooker. And I don't know. It just seems like I get this scatter shot sort of feeling with Remedy, kind of in that Crossfire X realm, where it's like, okay, Alan Wake 2 is in the cooker, but in the meantime, here's Crossfire X. Do I think that this is going to be the game that, to be fair, when you look at FBC Firebreak, you do see much more originality. Like, for a game within this genre, originality is not something that's offered up in wide supply. But this does, like, as soon as you see the game playing and running, and just the setting in general, of course, there's a distinct, unique sort of attribute to what this is offering that other online shooters aren't. And it's Remedy ass atmosphere. And the combat in the game did look pretty good. So I'm not getting quite that Crossfire X energy. I'm just getting, holy shit, this is a studio that is spread really thin, and some of these games aren't going to hit that well. And if I had to predict, it would be FBC Firebreak that doesn't hit that well. So yeah, it's coming day one to Game Pass, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think Crossfire X was also day one on Game Pass. So I'm not trying to draw all the parallels in the world here for you, but not too confident in that. Yeah. So overall thoughts on the show. It was good. It was a good show. This was really fun. Like a nice little, a nice little, whatever, 12, 15 game showing, some new IP revealed. I'm such a new IP guy. I prefer new IP over franchises all day long, all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Give me the new IP over the franchise. And you got plenty of new IP here. Like I said, new announcements, some good day. You got Subnautica 2, Eternal Strands, Wheel World, Wuchang Fallen Feathers, FBC Firebreak, all coming to Game Pass day one. So, I mean, you're talking about 5 pretty big heavy hitter day one Game Pass titles right there. And yeah, I not a bad show at all for a smaller scale show. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And yeah, I'm going to link to Retro Rivals. I'm going to be doing a live stream with my homies over at Retro Rivals on Saturday night. A nice Halloween spooky live stream. We'll be dressed up in costumes, our Halloween costumes, doing some survival horror, our favorite survival horror games, and just getting in the spooky spirit. So I'm going to link to their channel. Go subscribe to that. I'll be over there Saturday night. And yeah, come by, hang out, have a good time with us if you are free. And until then, guys, take it easy. Shall see you very soon. Goodbye.